What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video where we will talk about Pedro Neto, because various English newspapers are reporting that Liverpool have contacted Wolves and inquired about the availability of Pedro Neto. Liverpool want to sign him and Wolves already said their asking price for the tricky winger who is just 23 years old and he's having a brilliant season for Wolves. So we will talk about this story and also we will preview the Brentford-Liverpool game. What is your score prediction for that big game? I think that is a massive game for Liverpool, almost as big as the Liverpool-Man City game, because Brentford away, we lost there 2 seasons in a row in the Premier League. So we absolutely have to be at our absolute best. And also we will have injury updates because we have some good and bad news. Mo Salah is back from injury, but it looks like Alisson suffered a hamstring injury, even though Jurgen Klopp said in the press conference that he was available, but later yesterday Ian Doyle said that Alisson is out with a hamstring injury, so yeah, he probably misses the Brentford game. Szoboszlai and Trent are both out, but Szoboszlai could be potentially back for the League Cup final. Jurgen Klopp said that, good news. But first let's talk about Pedro Neto, and if you enjoy these videos make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC. And guys, I need your help because I'm struggling to make ends meet. The YouTube revenue is really low in January and February, and I'm not making enough money to continue making these videos. So please support me. You can subscribe to my Patreon. There are different tiers available for you guys. Link is in the video description, where you get additional benefits, and I get like 90-95% of that money if you subscribe to any tier on Patreon. It only costs a few dollars and it keeps me above water so I can keep making videos. Or you can donate on YouTube, but I only get like 60% of that money. Link to that is thanks button below the video. Thank you so much for your awesome support, I really appreciate it. So Pedro Neto has 2 goals and 8 assists this season in the Premier League, and in the FA Cup he also has 1 goal and 2 assists in 3 games. So in total he has 3 goals and 11 assists, and 3 goals might seem pretty low, but as long as he's getting the assists, 11 assists is actually pretty decent for Pedro Neto. But he's not really a prolific winger. There was a season where he played almost the full season in the Premier League for Wolves, and his highest goal scoring tally is 5 goals in the 2019, 2020 and 2020-21 season for Wolves. And he has struggled with injuries. In the past 2 seasons he only played 13 and 19 games. But he's also a Portuguese international player, and the links are persistent, because last season he scored 5 goals and got 6 assists in the Premier League in 30 starts, which is really encouraging. So in total this season he has 3 goals and 10 assists. Oh no, sorry, last season he only got 1 goal and 1 assist in 21 games. So that's where I'm a little bit worried about Pedro Neto and whether he is good enough for Liverpool, because yeah, you need to show at even at a younger age that you can consistently perform. And he's also an injury prone player. He missed a large part of the last 2 seasons with injuries. He suffered a knee injury 2 seasons ago, but in the 2021 season he had 5 goals and 6 assists in 35 games. So the potential is definitely there. He just needs to stay clear of injuries. Of course, you also have to factor in to the numbers that Neto's played in a team in Wolves who struggled in the past 2 seasons. Yes, they stayed up, but they were a lower mid-table side. This season, however, Wolves are absolutely brilliant under their manager, and I think they are doing a fantastic job. And if VAR did their job, they probably would have like 10 points more than what they already have. And even though right now Liverpool don't have a manager, they don't have a sporting director, they still want to lay down the foundations of any potential transfer. So if we contact Wolves and inquire about the availability of a player, that means that the player is definitely on Liverpool's shortlist. And Liverpool just want to poke around and see what kind of transfer fee Wolves would want for Pedro Neto. And Pedro Neto definitely passes the eye test. He's such a brilliant player to watch. He's very direct. I love that about him, that he picks the ball up and always runs at the fullback, always runs at the centre backs, at the defenders or defensive midfielders. And he can go inside, outside. He can shoot with either feet. He's pretty fast, very tricky, very skillful. But according to Steve K, Wolves put a pretty crazy, like £80 million asking price on Pedro Neto. And Gary O'Neill, the Wolves manager, who is doing a great job, he is keen to use a potential sale of a big Wolves player, like West Ham used the Declan Rice money. Declan Rice was sold for 105 million to Arsenal, and everybody was worried, where do West Ham go next? Well, they signed Alvarez, Kudus, and another player, I can't remember his name. But yeah, West Ham actually got a stronger squad as a result. Maybe not a stronger starting 11 because Declan Rice is world class, but a stronger squad overall by selling Declan Rice. And Wolves could do the same with Pedro Neto. Wolves are determined to extract the maximum value for Neto's services, and they are asking for around £80 million, which is absolutely crazy. But when Arsenal and Liverpool and other elite clubs and Tottenham are interested in Pedro Neto, then you know that Wolves want to get as much money for Pedro Neto as possible, and you know that's their right. I don't really understand the links to Arsenal because Arsenal already have Saka and Martinelli, their main wingers. On the other hand, Mo Salah has been linked with Paris Saint-Germain as well, so there is a scenario where Liverpool could be looking at a Mo Salah replacement. Pedro Neto would be a little bit more like underwhelming, but he's a Premier League proven winger who has potential to get better. And at the moment there is a lot of uncertainty around Liverpool in terms of who the next manager will be, who the next sporting director will be, what the next manager's plans will be for Liverpool going forward in terms of playing style, in terms of the big players, Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, all out of contract after next season. So this is a very, very important and very crucial time for Liverpool. And you know, Pedro Neto started off his career in the Braga Youth Academy, and then he went to Lazio on loan, where he only played a handful of games, only played 5 games in total. And then he was sold to Wolves, where he played a lot of games, 129 games for Wolves in total, but only 14 goals. And that's where I'm worrying a little bit about these statistics. He scores 1 goal every 10 games almost, 1 goal every 9 games. That's pretty low for a Premier League winger, even though he's young and he's playing for a team like Wolves, who have been fighting relegation for most of their time. But I don't really believe that Wolves would seriously ask for like £80 million for Pedro Neto. They are absolutely deluded if that's the case. The Evening Standard is reporting that Wolves will demand a little bit more than what Man City paid for Matheus Nunes, but that's only like 55-60 million pounds. It is also stated that Wolves would be under no pressure to sell Pedro Neto after making significant money on player transfers this season to meet the financial fair play and the profit and sustainability rules in the Premier League. But the Evening Standard newspaper is reporting that £60 million would be the price that Wolves would be looking at if they were to sell Pedro Neto, and that's what starting like really good Premier League winger goes for nowadays, sadly. Pedro Neto still has 3 years left on his contract, and after his long injury layoffs, it looks like this season Pedro Neto is back to his best. So don't judge him on the seasons where he was coming back from injury, he only played a few games as a starter. He's the type of player who needs a run of games to get into top form, into top match fitness, top match sharpness, and to fire on all cylinders. And he is definitely doing that. Just watch Wolves highlights this season. Pedro Neto is usually one of their best and most dangerous players, and Neto is looking to make the next step in his career to an elite club. And the fact that Man City are interested in Pedro Neto, makes me think that he might be more than good enough for Liverpool as well, because Jeremy Doku has been absolutely fantastic for Man City in some games, not all of the games, but Liverpool were linked with Jeremy Doku as well, but we went for other wingers, and I'm happy with Liverpool's attacking options options right now. But if we lose Mo Salah this summer or next summer, then we need to think about signing a very talented young winger, and Pedro Neto might just fit the bill. And Jurgen Klopp and other Liverpool journalists have confirmed that Mo Salah is back in the Liverpool squad against Brentford, which is very exciting and very good news. But Jurgen Klopp also said that Dominic Szoboszlai could return for the League Cup final, but Trent Alexander-Arnold will be back in just 1 or 2 weeks after that, Jurgen Klopp says. So Trent will definitely miss the League Cup final, which is a big blow, but Szoboszlai could be available. And there were some accusations thrown at Liverpool that we rushed Trent and Szoboszlai back too quickly from injuries. And it's a little bit suspicious that Thiago missed 10 months. And in the first game back, he gets injured after just a 5-minute cameo against Arsenal. And Trent Alexander-Arnold plays. Of course, yes, he had to play because Conor Bradley was away for his dad's funeral. Joe Gomez was ill and Robertson had to play left back, so there was basically no right back for Liverpool. And Trent started against Arsenal, then Trent started the next game. He even gave an assist before being substituted at halftime, but it looks like he aggravated his previous injury. He didn't look fully fit. Szoboszlai, on the other hand, he looked fully fit, and I fully believe that the medical team gives advice and information to Jurgen Klopp. Ultimately, Jurgen Klopp decides who plays and who doesn't play, but this shouldn't be on Jurgen Klopp. It should be the players who know their body more than anybody else, and the players should be more careful, not rushing back too quickly from an injury. And Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool definitely read the social media of Liverpool fans, the Liverpool Twitter as they call it. So be careful what you post, because Jurgen Klopp might read it. There was a discussion, Jurgen Klopp said, we might have forced Trent Alexander-Arnold back because of setback and Dominic Szoboszlai. And that was only on Liverpool Twitter that was posted. No major journalists were accusing Liverpool of forcing or rushing players back too quickly, rather. And Jurgen Klopp said, as long as I'm here as Liverpool manager, we never forced anyone back from injury. We always try to catch it at the earliest moment. When they play, the players, they were fully fit and ready to play. It's just very unfortunate, but it's also too much of a coincidence to lose 3 players in such a short space of time. Trent, Szoboszlai, both aggravated injuries after just making 2 appearances, and Thiago pulled a hamstring 5 minutes after playing for the first time in 10 months. And Jurgen Klopp also made the point that for a regular guy, these injuries could take 2, 3, 4 days to heal, and then they could walk again and maybe play 5-a-side friendly football. But to play top level Premier League football, you might need 2 or 3 week rehabilitation, because top level Premier League football is so much more demanding on the body, so much more intense, and it requires a lot higher level of fitness than just playing a regular friendly game. And Brentford are one of the toughest teams to play in their own stadium. They always defend very deep with a low block, but they are quick on the counter attack, and they are very, very threatening from set pieces. And now they have Ivan Toney back, and he's a handful. He is an absolutely brilliant striker. He uses his body so well, as Jurgen Klopp said in the press conference. He likes to roll players, win fouls, and just try every trick in the book to ruffle up the defenders and to get as much advantage as possible and win free kicks, win corners, win throw-ins, and Brentford will just pepper the Liverpool goal. And we need to match their intensity, and we need to figure out how to break down their low block. So we need to have pace and power in the team, as well as, of course, game intelligence. And I still trust Liverpool to get the 3 points, but this could be one of our 3 or 4 toughest games of the season left. Brentford away is as hard as it gets in the Premier League. It's like the old days. Can you win on a rainy night on a Tuesday away at Stoke City? I'm not saying Brentford play as ugly football as Stoke City. Far from it. When they have the ball, they actually play really good football. I'm using the analogy of Stoke away in the old days as Brentford away nowadays is as tough or maybe even tougher to win at. So Liverpool have to be at their absolute best, to be at 100% if they want to win at Brentford. Brentford also have some injury problems. They are missing Aaron Hickey with a hamstring issue, Josh Da Silva, Rico Henry, Brian Mbeumo, and those are three of their starting players. So yeah, Liverpool also missing some players. It evens things out. But Brentford has a reputation for turning their home ground into a fortress, surprising some bigger teams. But remember, last season, Brentford won 3-1 at Liverpool, scoring 5 goals, I think, but 2 of them were ruled out for offside. And also, previously, they played out a 3-0 draw with Liverpool. And Brentford are a really, really solid side. But Brentford only lost 5 games at home in 12 games. So not a lot of teams go there to actually win. And yes, they had a pretty bad run of results, but since Ivan Toney came back, they beat Nottingham Forest, they beat Wolves, and also they played pretty well against Manchester City. They were leading against Man City, so Liverpool have to be very, very careful in this game. Brentford also are a little bit unlucky with the schedule, because they play Liverpool, Man City, West Ham away, Chelsea and Arsenal. So these next 5 games, Brentford could lose all 5 and not even be upset because of the level of the opposition. But yeah, let me know what you think about the Brentford-Liverpool game and everything we talked about in this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.